Episode 34 coming at you guys live in our podcast studio in Toronto, Canada. I'm your host, Denver. I'm here with my beautiful fiancee, Teresa.
Hey.
That's it. Are you ready for today's episode? What's the theme?
This theme is, what would you do?
So think about that, guys. As we go through these stories, keep thinking, what would you do in that situation?
We'll give our opinions.
We'll tell you what we would do.
We'll truly try to put ourselves into OP's position. We're always like quick to jump and be like, divorce, break up.
Punch her in the face.
Yeah, you say that a lot. But I think I'm going to really try to imagine myself like, okay, if this actually happened to me, what would I truly do?
Realistically.
Yeah.
Because we just give our opinions all the time, but we'll try to keep our opinions realistic this time. Sometimes we get carried away.
Yes, I agree.
I'd just like to put an early disclaimer there that we are not therapists and we are not experts, and we just like to share our humble opinions. And you can disagree with us, and we're probably not going to, not everybody's going to be on the same take, but that's what the fun of this is.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I was going to say we don't all have to agree.
All right. So let's get started.
Sure.
Okay. On to you.
Me first? Ooh.
You're always first. Ladies first.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Go through the booby traps.
If you know, you know.
Clean the cobwebs.
Okay. This one comes from Best of Redditor Updates, originally posted in AITAH. Am I the asshole for telling my boyfriend that his daughter is not allowed in my apartment because she doesn't stop smuggling peanuts in? I can't have any contact with peanuts, and I am terrified of them due to some bad experience of me ending up in the hospital. I have my shots now on me all the time. It is not exactly airborne, and I could have irritation, and if, for example, I touch something that has been in contact with peanuts, I could have swollen eyes and itchy nose and throat. Ingesting is fatal. She is 14 and has no respect whatsoever for my anxiety. My boyfriend and I moved in, and she lives with us every other week. Now I told my boyfriend that I don't want her here because she is not respecting my boundaries, but that I understand that he doesn't want to live with me. In that case, we could revert back to him being with me when he doesn't have his daughter. He got very upset because he said that he loved me and wanted a real relationship and to live in one home. So I told him that maybe he should be with someone who isn't allergic then. He says I am being very unfair. He said, well, she will probably hate the next one too, and the next one, and the next one, because she wants her mom and me to be back together again. So it wasn't me specifically that she dislikes. I said that maybe he needs to take a break from dating until she is on board, but he said that he couldn't be single just because his daughter wants him to. Before me, he was single for 6 years, and that wasn't good enough. Before we decided to move in together, we have done some trial living together, and never once did his daughter do anything about the nuts. But now, for 4 months, she always has peanuts with her. I don't know why she is doing this. I thought we were cool. She just smirks and says, maybe if you're so allergic, maybe you're not meant to survive. A stand-up comedy bit from Louis C.K.
Jeez. I mean, that's like life and death. So I don't really care who in my life is not respecting the fact that I'm deathly allergic to peanuts and I could swell up my throat. That's a matter of survival. So you got to put yourself first. So I know instantly what I'd be doing. You pat her down at the front door. You have peanuts there. I can't even pat you down.
You can't.
I can't trust you.
You would have to.
You need to be a parent to your kid. If you don't want to be a parent to your kid and explain to them why this is not funny, it's not a joke, it's not something that you do, that you absolutely, unequivocally cannot do this. And if you don't want to do that as a parent, I wouldn't even want to be dating you. Never mind going back to how things were. I would be a little bit more cutthroat for that one, I guess. But if you really like him, you gotta put yourself first.
What if it's the love of her life? What if it's me in this situation? I had a daughter.
I would just say that you would become no longer the love of my life if you can't be a parent and take my safety as a priority.
Yes.
You would no longer be the person that I love so dearly, because I'd be looking at you like you don't care about me. You don't care about my health. You don't care enough about my peanut allergy to take it seriously and make sure that your kid doesn't have peanuts on her. And tell your kid, listen, you're not allowed to have peanuts. Same thing with shellfish or any allergies. Like, you're not allowed to do that. And if the kid continues to do that, where's the discipline? Where's the punishment?
That's what's missing here.
Yeah, he's not being a proper parent.
Yeah, and he's also trying to minimize OP's anxiety, because she definitely has a right to be anxious about this. Like, oh my God, I would be, if I had a peanut allergy, I think I would be on high alert all the time.
Yeah.
And knowing that your daughter is bringing peanuts into the home, like, there's no way I would be able to live there.
If I had a food allergy where if I accidentally ate it, I will swell up and could possibly die, how can you not have anxiety for that situation? How could you not?
Yeah, I don't understand how he doesn't have any empathy for her.
See, the fact that he doesn't have any empathy for her, the daughter doesn't have any empathy, that would be like, even if you were the love of my life, you would no longer be the love of my life, because how could I love someone who doesn't take my health seriously?
Exactly. Yeah. There's an update. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for really caring about a stranger with a dilemma. I was glad that I wasn't wrong in my gut. I told my boyfriend that I wanted to break up. He was very sad and tried to reason with me. He suggested that we could live separately. His daughter will soon be an adult. I told him that being 18 doesn't guarantee that she leaves the nest, nor that he stops being a father either. Anytime she could come across a hardship and want to move home and needs to find that home, she couldn't have it with me. And about living separately, while it is fine now and for some few years ahead, what about the future? He was silent and listening to me. I felt overwhelmed because I love him. He said that the only way his daughter will be happy is when he is alone. She is in therapy, but she has not shown any regard for her father or his life. She seems to not see him as an individual with feelings. He is just a father. I didn't know what to tell him and just said that she probably needed time to grow up. Until he moves out, his daughter is not allowed to be in my apartment. She called and threw a tantrum about her father choosing me instead. That she has the right to live with her father every other week, and this shouldn't change. I didn't say anything. They needed to fix this as a family, and I am not a part of this family anymore. He rented his apartment for a year's contract, so I don't know how he will manage to find a new one or terminate the lease so he could move back into his old apartment. Anyways, he is staying here for a couple months. I'm very sad that this beautiful relationship will come to an end, but I need time to think about myself for now.
Well, I mean, she's 18. She doesn't have her rights to anything. You're not a child anymore. You're a young adult. You're at the end of your teenage years. You're now considered an adult in the eyes of the law. So you don't have a right for anything anymore.
She's only 14.
I thought she was 18.
No, she's 14 right now.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean,
she was saying like down in the future, like even when she turns 18.
Even
like,
when she turns 18.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bye. I don't know, like, dude, you're kind of being a shit parent. The fact that you're letting your kid walk all over you and your kid doesn't see you as anything besides just her dad and not an individual person. You are clearly doing not the best job doing the parenting to make her understand that you are still your person with your own feelings. And what about her mom? Like, is her mom dating anybody? Like, she's probably moved on too. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's tough. Broken house syndrome.
Yeah. There's a mini update in the comments. Commenter, you are doing the right thing, but he needs to move out one hell of a lot faster. Letting him stick around for months won't work. The girl will find a way in, and he will be trying to make life difficult and get the relationship back on, guilt-tripping you the entire time. It's not worth the hassle. He needs to be out by the end of the month. OP replies, yes, he has decided to move away for a while. He has spoken to his current tenants about getting back his apartment. They have 8 months left on the lease, but they're willing to move out in 6 if he paid them 2 months rent, or they pay for 4 instead of 6. He has agreed. But here's the thing. He's moving away in a month or so. He has been talking to his ex about her getting full custody indefinitely. I didn't want to interfere, but he said that he needed to teach his daughter a lesson before he is tired. I don't know what his plan is, but he seems to want to try this for some months. But tell his daughter it is indefinitely. She has been calling him all day, but he isn't answering her. He is not going to live here for 6 months. He is planning on taking work assignments in other cities, something he never did before. He is leaving in the end of the month or the first week of June. This is my new update.
That's a good update.
At least he's doing something about it.
At least he's
That's
doing
positive.
something. Like you little brat 14-year-old, like, okay, well, like, you're no longer allowed access to come to me every weekend.
Yeah.
See when I want to.
One more small update. Commenter says, be careful. This could also be a version of love bombing, where he immediately does everything you ask to get back into your good graces, but then does a 180 once he's back in and comfortable again. OP replies, well, I don't think so, because I am very much already decided that it isn't working. I was very honest with him. I don't see a future where I can get along with his daughter. Some things like anxiety over being poisoned makes a permanent change, and I can't see his daughter in any other light, even if she grows up to be a good person. I think he has been avoiding his problems with his daughter for a while, and now he suffered a major loss because of his avoidance, not wanting to rock the boat. This is the solution he's come up with. I don't know if it is right or wrong, or if he has decided this with her therapist or not. I am not a mother, so I don't know. That's a great response.
Yeah.
She seems really mature.
Yeah, she does.
To know, like, okay, even though I love this man and he is giving, like, saying that he's going to give me the world and everything that I want, like, I know it still won't work out. Like, that is very mature.
Yeah. I mean, I would put my health and safety over anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, so that's all.
All right, on to the next one. Before I get into my next story, I just want to give a quick shout out to Cottage Springs for always providing us the vodka lemonades for me to be drinking on the show. Crunching my thirst. All right.
Quenching
my thirst.
Crunchy thirst.
Yeah, I got a crunchy thirst. You know, I got all the peanuts jammed up in my throat.
What?
I metaphorically, I'm feeling peanuts swelling up in my throat. Got to drink some.
From the story.
Yeah.
That went right over my head. I was like, what peanuts, bro? Okay,
my story is coming from AITAH. Am I the asshole for telling my fiance that she's useless in an emergency and she shouldn't brag about how tough she is?
So nice. What?
Feel like it's coming towards you?
Yeah, a little bit.
I, 25, have a child named Amy, 1 female, with my fiance Jess, 24 female. We live together in one of the safest cities in the United States. About 4 months ago, Jess and I were walking home at night with Amy sleeping in her stroller. It was a suburban road that we've walked down hundreds of times. Suddenly, we heard several loud banging noises from around the corner. My first instinct was to check out where it came from, so I jogged a couple steps forward to peek and see what was going on. As it turns out, 2 teens were hitting the window of an SUV with a baseball bat. I watched them run away, get into a car, and peel out. I turn around to see Jess, but she wasn't there. I look back the way we came to see her about 50 yards away, running like her life depended on it. I called out to her a few times, but she was obviously scared out of her mind and didn't hear me. A few minutes later, I called her on her phone and she picked up. I explained it was just a couple of dumb kids with a baseball bat. Jess sheepishly walked up a few minutes later, and I couldn't help but laugh at her. She said that she grew up in a rough neighborhood, even though she didn't, and mistook the sound for gunshots. I actually grew up in a bad neighborhood, and I told her they sounded nothing like gunshots. But what really struck out to me was her first instinct in an emergency was to abandon a 9-month-old baby and her fiancé to fend for themselves as she protected her own hide. Well, last night we were watching a documentary together, and there was a scene with a woman who was frozen in terror during an animal attack. Jess scoffed and said if that were her, she would have fought back, especially if Amy was with her. I looked at her for a few seconds and said, yeah, you'd really know what you'd do. Jess insisted that she would have fought tooth and nail against any threat against her daughter, to which I responded, even a couple of kids breaking a car window with a baseball bat? Let's call it for what it is. You're kind of useless in an emergency.
Ooh, ouch.
Jess stood up, called me a dickhead, and walked away. It felt really shitty because she was victim blaming the woman in the documentary when she showed herself to be a coward of cosmic proportions. were my words too harsh?
A little bit, I would say yes.
A little bit.
Yeah. Okay, so are you asking me what I would do in this situation?
Like, what would you do?
What would I do? I think realistically, I would do the same thing.
You're just gonna leave me and our baby?
No, I think I would panic though. Like, I would like to believe that I would be strong and I don't know, be brave, but I don't think I would be. And I've told you this so many times. Like, I would sacrifice myself. Like, if we were in a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, you say that, but now you're like, realistically, would I?
Like, I don't know. I don't think I would stand a chance to fight back.
What if you don't even know what you're fighting back against?
I don't know. I would be scared.
Scared of what?
I don't know.
Banging
Scared
noise?
of the unknown.
A banging noise?
I want to say I hope that I would be braver than her, but I can't guarantee that.
Nope. Nobody ever knows what they'll do until they're actually in the situation.
I would hope my adrenaline would kick in, but
everybody always acts tough.
Yeah.
Tough. Top comment. If she grabbed the kid and ran, I wouldn't call her a coward. Kiddo's safety comes first. But to leave the baby? The fuck?
Yeah. Yeah. But okay, who is pushing the stroller? Because I'm picturing he was probably pushing the stroller. That's what I'm picturing. Like, if he's pushing the stroller, she's just like beside.
Okay, but even then, and he leaves the stroller there and he runs up around the corner, she's still beside the stroller.
I would assume you got the baby.
Okay, so
like, I have that much trust in you. Where if you are like physically pushing the stroller, it's your your responsibility.
What if you saw me run up around the corner and then you just book it the other way?
Huh?
Like, he jogged up to the corner of the block, but she started running the other way.
I don't know what you're saying. Sorry.
In the story, they were both beside the baby,
yeah.
And then he ran forward and she ran backwards, the opposite direction.
Wait, he ran forward? Why?
He said he jogged up to look around the corner of the block.
Oh.
To see what it was.
Oh, and the baby was just by itself?
They both ran away from the baby at the same time.
Well, then they're both shitty. I don't know. He went to go see the problem. She ran away from the problem. Also, going towards the problem isn't very smart either, though. He could have got shot. Like, you know, like...
Well, he said he knew that it wasn't gunshots. It doesn't say who was pushing the baby.
I'm going to assume that was the case.
Probably. Her hands probably weren't on the stroller.
Yeah, which is probably why she just, like, left.
But
I want to give her the benefit of the doubt.
Okay, but like what like I feel like almost instantly you know whether or not your fiance and baby are running with you.
I guess. Yeah.
You can't go more than 2 steps without knowing someone's running behind you, beside you.
Yeah, I know that's true. Okay, I changed my mind. I think I would not do this. I would go in front of you because I don't want to.
In front of me, you gotta go in front of the baby.
Well, okay, but we don't have kids, so it's hard to say.
What if we're walking he who must not be named?
Our nephew?
Yeah, unborn yet unnamed.
Well, yeah, I would protect you both. I would sacrifice myself. Say, take me.
So funny. A second ago, she's like, I would run. Our whole relationship, she's like, I would sacrifice myself for you.
No, I would. I think I actually would because...
If there's a bear in the woods, I would just let it eat me.
That's what I said. I said this a couple weeks ago. We were on a hike. I was like, babe, actually, if a bear came out right now, I would just stay there and get mauled. And you would have time to run away.
I'm like, great. So not only do I have to run away, I also have to pick her up and run carrying her. So we even both get to safety.
I just know I wouldn't stand a chance. So, and I don't want to live without you. So I would rather. Does that make me toxic?
Yes. Okay. The second comment's kind of funny. Okay. Maybe not funny, but so the second top comment. When my mom was a kid, my grandmother accidentally started a kitchen fire and immediately abandoned her 5 kids, who were aged 0 to 7-ish, inside as she ran from the house. Luckily, everyone made it out okay, but no thanks to her, and it became a funny family story. The thing is, my granny, God love her, is a self-centered, narcissistic person, and the kitchen fire story is funny to everyone because it perfectly encapsulates the selfishness and benign neglect that her mom and her brothers were raised with. I mean, we still love her, and she's still a good grandma in some ways, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, okay. I think that's a little bit different though because she's by herself. It sounded like she was the only one in the house with the kids. Whereas I think this situation, maybe she just had full trust in the husband to take care of the baby.
Okay, yeah.
I think it's a little bit different. Like
maybe
when you're by yourself in a house full of 5 kids, that's your full responsibility. You can't trust a partner or anybody to do that for you. They're helpless. They're young. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think it's a little bit different. But also at the same time, you can't just assume your partner will do the same. I don't know. That's tough. Let's move on.
Okay. Back to you.
Yes. My friend slept with my engaged sister, and no one knows but me.
Eek.
Eek. My 21 male sister, 32 female, slept with my friend, 20 male, a month ago, and they have been sleeping together ever since. I don't know how to tell anyone this information, and it's been sitting on my chest. I found this out yesterday when my sister wanted me to clear out her messages on her iPad, which is connected to her phone, so she can have storage. I saw messages between her and my friend, and I decided to see what they talked about, because I wasn't aware that they had each other's numbers. I know this was an invasion of privacy. I don't need people in the comments screaming about it. When I went through her messages, I was immediately surprised because it was very sexual and dated back to a month ago. I knew they had slept together because there were messages on there insinuating it. The way the messages looked, it seems as if they started talking after they slept together. My sister sent the first message and looked like she was flirting more. I don't know who initiated the sex first. I'm not trying to put all the blame on my sister, but she is the one who is in a relationship and about to be married. I'm obviously hurt and feel betrayed by both of them. I'm planning on telling her fiancé, but I do want to talk to them about it first. I'm completely at a loss here, and I'm so confused.
What do you tell? Do you not tell? What do you do?
Well, what would you do if it's your sister who's about to get married? Would you tell, like, if it was Kat or Madison, like, would you tell Dennis or Chris?
No.
You wouldn't?
No. None of my business.
None of my business?
Not my monkey, not my circus.
Yes. Yeah, I think
I would only do it if it was the opposite. If it was their spouse that I found out was cheating on my family.
Yeah.
Then I would tell. But if my family is the one doing the cheating.
Would you confront your sisters about it? I think that I would, 100%.
I don't know.
I would. I would definitely confront my sister. I wouldn't go to her partner first, but I would definitely confront my sister.
I think I would.
And be like, I would encourage her to come clean because...
I think I would just stay out of it.
Really?
I don't want to be involved in any of that drama. Let it collapse on itself.
Interesting.
Unless they're like marrying my friend. Yeah, I think.
What?
Like, unless like I was friends with the person they're marrying.
Oh. I see what you mean. Okay.
Like, I like that person. I had already a previous relationship with that person.
Are you saying you don't like Dennis or Chris?
No. I'm just saying I never had a relationship with them before.
Yeah.
Like,
but you do now.
I do, but like, you know how sometimes that like you know, like your friend ends up dating your sister, that kind of situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'd stay out of it.
Yeah. I wouldn't stay out of it, but like I said, I would confront my sister and be like, you should definitely come clean about it before you get married.
Yeah. I think I'm out.
Interesting.
Yeah.
True colors are showing.
Possibly.
Top comment. Send the screen caps anonymously to the fiancé. He doesn't deserve to go into a marriage this way.
I don't think I'd even do that.
That's pretty shitty of you.
Well, I help you hide the body, so they're family.
Interesting. All right. What would you guys do? Let us know.
Yeah. Moving on.
Yep.
Okay. This one kind of fits with this theme. It's coming from our subreddit. Posted 10 days ago. Title is, and when I say our subreddit, it's coming from r/ThreadTalk podcast. Title, Spilt Tea. Do I continue to spill or keep it in my cup? Hi, ThreadTalk. Huge fan. Denver and Teresa, I love your podcast and look forward to Tuesdays very much.
No.
Feel free to read this post on your podcast. It's messy, just like you guys like.
It's funny.
So long story, but there are 5 kids in my family. Growing up, I, the second youngest female, had a different dad, and my younger brother had a different dad. The older 3 boys had another different dad, who was always around and so was very familiar with me and my younger brother. All 5 of us look very different. I mostly resemble my dad, and my younger bro resembles his dad. The oldest boy also resembles his dad. The other 2, not so much. Growing up, people would say that the other 2 look like a different race, and I agreed with that, but always thought, genetics are weird, so whatever. We are all adults now. The older 3 boys' dad passed away about a year ago. My grandma, who I'm not very close with, told me that the oldest was his son, but the other 2 boys have different fathers. They both grew up thinking that the man who passed away was their dad. For all intents and purposes, he was. They are grieving him, as are the rest of us. But I'm torn. Grandma indicated to me that they are in fact different races than the rest of us. Part of me thinks they should know where they come from, their culture, maybe find their biological dads. However, I don't want to break their hearts. So ThreadTalk, what should I do?
Whew. Oh man. That's tough. That is tough. I actually don't know about this one. I'm trying to really put myself in OP's shoes. And I think they do have a right to know. But is it my place to tell them?
Right?
Like, I don't know if it would be my place to break the news to them. I think it should be the mom.
Maybe, but if the mom's not willing to do it, I think it could be maybe good for the 2 that didn't lose their dad. I mean, the one who did lose his dad, he's in a shitty situation. But the 2 that didn't, I feel like it could alleviate a little bit of their pain.
Maybe.
Their father figure died, but kind of learning that you do have other family out there could possibly, heal.
Maybe.
So
but also it's piling on, while they're grieving, you're going to pile on, because it doesn't really change the fact that he acted as a father figure to them their entire lives.
He technically was their father.
He was their father.
It just wasn't bio dad.
So that, I don't know if saying that that wasn't your bio dad is actually going to change how they're feeling or how they're mourning.
No, they're still going to be hurt and mourning for sure. But I feel like it would maybe give them a distraction of going down that rabbit hole.
I think it's just piling on more shit though. I don't think it's a distraction. I think it's more shit on top of.
So what do you do? Do you tell them? Do you not tell them? What do you do?
I would ask mom too, first.
Well, she obviously, you already know she didn't want to tell him.
Yeah, but I would let her know that I know.
Maybe, let her tell them.
If you don't tell them, I will, type of thing.
Yep.
And if she doesn't, then I guess I will.
What if mom says no? I would. I'm not telling them, and you can't either. Don't tell them.
I would.
Yeah, just bluntly.
I think I would, because they deserve to know.
I would buy the 21andMe kits.
Ooh.
And then I would just have everyone do them for fun.
Christmas gift.
21andMe kits for everyone.
Oh my God.
See the look on my mom's face.
Wait, that's actually genius, because it's oh, hey, we're all 3 of us have different dads there's 3 different dads in this family.
Let's check out our backgrounds.
Yeah. Isn't it cool to, know more about us?
Spit on the stick.
I like it. That's smart. You are thinking smart.
Gotta think outside the box sometimes.
Yeah. Okay. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
What were the votes? Because she put a poll, right? Or I don't know if
Yeah, there's a poll, and the overwhelming vote was spill it.
Spill it. Yeah. Well, update us, please. Let us know if you did spill it. We would love to know.
Yeah. Let us know. Okay. Back to you.
All right. Am I the asshole for telling my cousin that she is no longer allowed to be a bridesmaid in my wedding because she wants to bring her boyfriend, who is my ex, and I don't want him there? My cousin is currently dating my ex, with whom I ended things amicably. Although I no longer have feelings for him, I don't want him at my wedding, a day that is incredibly important to me. I do not want him there to potentially overshadow the happiness of the occasion. Additionally, their relationship is still quite new, and I worry that if they break up, my cousin will be glad that he is not in any of the photos. When my cousin brought up this issue of bringing her boyfriend as a plus one, I told her that she could not bring him. She became upset and tried to argue her case. Feeling frustrated, I finally told her that if she insisted on having him there, then I would rather she not be there at all. Now she is angry with me. I understand where my cousin is coming from, but I feel like she is not considering my feelings and the feelings of my own partner, whom I also have to consider when planning a wedding. Am I wrong for standing my ground on this issue?
No. She said it right in the post. Like, my question would be, okay, like, how long has he been your ex? Have they been dating for 2 years and he's your ex? Have they been dating for 2 months and he's your ex? She said it. They're recently new. You have to be pretty dumb not to understand that, hey, I'm dating my cousin's ex-boyfriend. Maybe she doesn't want her ex-boyfriend at her wedding.
Yes. Okay, but realistically, let's just say it's your cousin. What if Jordan was dating your ex? And we had a big wedding here that they could all attend to or whatever. And he was in your wedding party because she's a bridesmaid. Would you say you can't come because he wants to bring his girlfriend, who is your ex?
Well,
see, it's different when you put it into, like, if you put yourself into OP's shoes, it's different. It's so easy to say, no, don't do it. Yes, do it. Like, but when you actually think about it, like with people in your life, it's hard.
How would you feel if my cousin showed up with my ex-girlfriend?
I wouldn't love that.
So she has to think about how her spouse is going to feel.
Yes. Okay, but let's just think about you. This isn't about me. This is about you.
Okay. I don't know. Like, I guess at this point, it's been like 10 years. 11 years. My ex-girlfriend was 11 years ago. So it's a very long time. So I feel like I'm very emotionless about that.
Well,
I'm also an emotionless person.
No, you're not.
I kind of am.
Don't lie.
I'm not lying. I'm kind of emotionless for like everything except for you. So I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't care. But maybe it's to do what I say, not do what I do.
Okay, I see. If it were me, I mean, I don't have any ex.
What if we broke up and I started dating Maria?
Yeah, but that's different because I'm marrying you. So it's like...
No, we broke up. You're marrying someone else now.
But if we... Yeah, but I just mean like we spent the last 7 years together. So I would say...
So how long did she spend with him?
I don't know. I guess, yeah, I don't know. I would kick her out of my bridesmaid.
I think we have our answer.
Yeah, I think I would. There's no way I would be able to. Even if I was fully over you and it ended amicably, I would still be uncomfortable. And if she couldn't respect that, then it's like, what? Then I don't want you to be celebrating this day with me.
Yeah.
If you can't respect me as a person and as your cousin, as a bride, like, I don't need you here.
Exactly. And the thing for me is, how long have they been dating? Like, oh, it was my ex, but they've been together for 2 years in a very serious relationship. But she said, oh, he's my
Early.
ex, and they're early on in the relationship.
True.
They've been dating for a couple months.
Yeah.
Regardless, I don't know, because I'm kind of on the thing with like, how do you feel like, regardless if they're ex or anything, how do you feel like you're plus one when you're in the wedding party for the wedding photos with your date and you've only been dating for a couple months?
Well, I don't know if they would necessarily be in the photos.
Okay, I rephrase that. Yeah, I guess it's not terrible if you just have whoever you're dating come to the wedding, but
I
don't.
think especially as a bridesmaid, you
Yeah.
should be given
But
a
don't-
plus one.
Yeah, but don't try and push your 2-month-old relationship into the family photos.
Yeah, I think that's a whole different issue.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, I wouldn't let it slide.
Yeah, like I said, I'm with OP.
Yeah. No, I don't think you did.
I said that. You tried to be like,
You-
put yourself in her shoes.
Yeah,
What would
and
you
then
really
you-
do? And that's when I was
changed your
like,
mind.
well, that's when you brought up my ex-girlfriend. But I think the difference is my ex-girlfriend is 11 years old.
Yeah.
So like there's no more.
She's 11 years old.
The relationship has been over for over 11 years.
That didn't sound good at all.
My ex has been my ex for over 11 years.
Okay, she's not 11 years old.
That would have made her fucking 0 when I was dating her. Yeah, what?
Okay. Top comment. Not the asshole. Your wedding, your guest list. End of discussion. I am curious, though, as to how on earth could an ex that you say you parted with amicably possibly overshadow your happiness on the day that you marry someone you are completely in love with? Or is it your fiance who is bothered by an ex being in attendance? OP replies, I shouldn't have used the word overshadow. It's not the right word. I just meant that my wedding day will possibly be one of the greatest moments in my partner's and my life. And I don't want to be reminded of my ex being there. Even though we ended amicably, we still have a lot of history, and I find it personally uncomfortable to remain friends with someone I had a sexual/intimate relationship with. Completely fair. That was a dumb question.
Exactly. I like that was exactly what I'm thinking. Like,
Yes.
why would you want those vibes there? Ex vibes. I don't want ex vibes at my wedding.
Yes, exactly.
Like, even if my ex wasn't dating my cousin, I don't want my ex at my wedding.
Yeah.
Like, even if we were having like a big wedding and I invited every single person from my high school, I wouldn't want my ex there.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's weird.
Yeah. All right. Moving on.
Moving on.
I like this one.
I got good vibes. I'm having fun.
I'm having fun too because I'm
laughing.
I know. I'm like,
I'm not getting rattled up like
I
some of those
know.
other stories. The other stories like
it's fun to actually think of yourself in OP's shoes.
yeah, it is. A little fun.
Okay.
Moving on, back to me. Am I the asshole for not wanting to share a personal sized pizza with 3 other people? I already know what Teresa's gonna say. My food! I'm hungry! It's mine!
Don't mess with my food.
I, female, 35, am gluten-free, celiac, and have been for over half of my life. My husband, male, 35, is not. We had 2 friends stopping by for dinner who are also not gluten-free. My husband suggested we get pizza and mentioned to me that one of the friends only eats chicken as far as meat goes, so I should factor that into my order. I said, well, that doesn't really affect me since I wasn't planning on sharing, but noted. I'll see what options they have for her. Husband freaks out at me because apparently I'm being ungrateful. He asked why I didn't want to share, and I said, the gluten-free pizzas are basically personal pizzas, and I regularly eat the whole thing when we order it. I'm supposed to offer half of mine to other people when I can't eat what they are eating? He wouldn't hear me at all and said if I didn't want to share, I could pay for my own pizza myself. I don't really care about paying for it myself, but the idea that I'm supposed to give away some of my dinner when I can't eat what other people are eating is stupid to me. It's not like we are ordering every pizza gluten-free. It just doesn't make sense. They eat my food and then I can't eat their food. I can understand the principle of offering, but one gluten-free pizza from this place is only enough for one person. If we are getting multiple gluten-free ones, I'd absolutely share, but they got 2 larges for the 3 of them. He continued to go on about how grateful I was being and said some other stupid stuff before I told him to fuck off and went upstairs. I ended up just going upstairs and not eating or seeing them at all. I came downstairs later and he had ordered me a gluten-free pizza and said from across the room, "Are you ready for your grateful free pizza? You need to have a better attitude about things that aren't yours in the future." I didn't reply or eat the pizza. I was already heating something else up and hadn't even noticed the pizza. But I will eat it later because I'm pregnant and starving all the time. Just for the record, this has happened before several years ago when we ordered pizza and only one gluten-free for me. And it arrived and everyone thought mine looked super good. I don't order regular pepperoni and tomato sauce. So the 4 other people and my husband took over half of my pizza before I even got a bite. It pissed me off because I then didn't have enough food and they still had plenty plus pieces of mine. So perhaps this is a sore subject for me. Again, I'm also pregnant, though this would still bother me if I weren't. Am I the asshole and being ungrateful?
No, not at all. This is a bigger issue because I don't know why is a husband, boyfriend, I don't know.
Husband.
I think he has some like weird issues about her taking claim for things that are his and that he's paying for. Like it seems like financial abuse because he's like, "Oh, why don't you pay for it then?"
Yeah. I know what I would do.
I know what I would do too.
Divorce.
Give him the fucking D.
Yeah. No, there's so many principal things wrong here, and I don't want to
much.
I know we jumped to divorce.
No, but
quickly,
this is like, come on.
If you say that because you're paying for it,
that's
like I thought we're a team.
No, this is like so much. This is a way bigger issue than the pizza.
Yeah, this is a way bigger issue than the pizza. Like you have the issue of financial abuse.
Yes.
Because nowhere in our relationship does anybody get to say, "Oh, because I'm paying for that."
Yes. No way.
Like, we split everything. Even if I paid for it.
It's ours.
It's ours.
Our purse.
Yeah. It's our car. It's our condo. It's that, like...
Someone commented on YouTube. They were like, "We want merch that says it's our purse."
Yeah, like, when you're in a relationship, like, you are a team. You go into marriage, you agree that you are no longer a solo person in life, and you're going to teamwork this shit for the rest of your life. And that includes finances.
Yes.
And we split everything. Like anytime we pay for food, almost every time we pay for food, it comes out of our joint bank account, except for when Teresa sneaks it onto her Visa and then doesn't tell me about it. And then I forget about that. But I try to pay for things with my card too, to try to balance that out. But regardless, like it's a team effort. And I cannot for the life of me think that I would ever say anything to do with money of, well, then you can buy your pizzas yourself.
No. Oh my God. I can't imagine like ever saying that or hearing that from you. Like there's no way you would ever say that to me.
Like we have a joint credit card. Whenever we get like food items, like we always use the American Express if we can. Mm-hmm. The only time the American Express doesn't get used is if the establishment doesn't want it. Yeah. And then Teresa sneaks it onto her Visa. Or I sneak it onto mine. But it always goes through the joint card, and then we just tackle everything from there.
Yeah.
And then the second part is like, bro, she's gluten-free.
And she's pregnant.
Even if she wasn't gluten-free and she ordered up the delicious Domino's barbecue chicken pizza and nobody else, they're just like, they want pepperoni and stuff, and I'm getting a medium, like, this is my pizza. I'm not sharing with you guys. If you guys wanted it, you should have ordered it for yourself.
Yes, I agree. Trust me, I agree.
Like if I'm like, "Hey, what kind of pizza you want?" And you're like, "Oh, I just want pepperoni." Okay. What kind of pizza do you want? "Oh, I want the meat lovers." Okay. Well, we don't need 3 large pizzas. You get your pizza. I'm getting a medium barbecue chicken pizza from Domino's because it's my favorite pizza ever. Try it. Domino's not sponsoring this, but you should sponsor us, Domino's. Try it, and that comes in, and it's like, whoa, you guys said you didn't want any. Now you guys want some of this pizza?
I will admit I do that to you a lot, but I hate when you do it to me.
You do it all the time. All the time.
Well, when was it I said no, I didn't want something, and then you ordered it for me anyways, and I was like, thank you.
Yeah, I've learned. Like if I go to, like, do you want French fries or something?
Yeah,
McDonald's or something all the time. I just get Teresa something because she'll just eat She'll, then can I have some? Can I have a little bit? But then when I try to get some of her stuff that I didn't order,
No. Pause
I'm
off.
not allowed. Yeah. So, and then like the fact that he's like ungrateful and stuff. Are
No,
you ready
those
for your grateful
comments-
free pizza?
No.
The comment where he's like, "Are you ready for your grateful free pizza?" and she's microwaving something else. I would have walked up and I would have done one of two things. I would have either walked in front of him, took the pizza, and let it fall onto the ground upside down on his feet and say, "Enjoy your pizza," or I would have been like, "Hey," and he would have looked at me towards the kitchen, and I would have thrown it in the garbage.
And then I would.
And then I would have ordered
papers.
another pizza and
Yeah.
ate that pizza for myself.
Yeah. But then like at that point, like leave.
No,
Like
exactly. She shouldn't even
it's
have to deal with
divorce-worthy.
any of that stuff.
Yeah.
So this is divorce worthy for me, like on the principle of it.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
On the
it's much
principle.
deeper than just the pizza.
So much deeper.
Yeah.
And she's pregnant.
Yeah, I was shocked when she said that.
Top comment. Not the asshole. Your husband is a big one, though. Also thoughtless. Literally, are you ever heard?
Yeah. Like this can't be the first time. I know she said this happened years ago, but like this can't be the first incident like this. Like,
OP replies.
okay.
Am I ever heard? I don't know, to be honest. I am generally super go with the flow, and he is very much the one who cares about stuff, so he 99% of the time gets what he wants. I started about a year ago voicing my opinions more, and he told me I was being combative, lol. I told him he's just used to getting his way and that it was my fault for not setting proper boundaries for so long. We do have a good relationship most of the time, though.
Yeah. No, he sounds super controlling and financially abusive. I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't like it either. There's a lot of things. Like, I don't know. You shouldn't have to deal with that. You should have
No.
somebody who's going to listen to you.
Yeah, 100%. It's called compromise.
There's another comment. Not the asshole. It's the only food you're able to eat, and the fact that he wants you to share is just ridiculous. I have a dietary restriction as well, and I don't tolerate people taking my food without asking. You ordered the amount of food you wanted to eat, and presumably so did your husband. The difference is that he can deprive you of food, but not the other way around. You ordered special food that meets your dietary restriction, and it's unreasonable for him to say that you should share it since there's plenty of non-gluten-free food available. I'm honestly not sure what there is for him to get upset about in this situation since everyone else who was ordering pizza and getting whatever they wanted. The fact that you're pregnant makes his behavior even more absurd. The passive-aggressive comment about being very immature, especially for a 35-year-old man expecting a child. The idea of things, quote, not being yours, since you didn't personally order / pay for them, is not a good thought to have about your pregnant wife and suggest he may not be a team player in an inherently cooperative experience. If you're unable to work because of the pregnancy or caring for the child, are you no longer entitled to food because he's the one who earned the money to place the order?
Yeah. And even if you did, like, if you agreed you're a stay-at-home mom and he makes all of the finances, still,
like,
it doesn't matter if she can work or not. Like,
yeah, one thing that, like, what OP could do, you know, like, what would you do in this situation if, you know, we're saying divorce, but is that likely to happen? Like, she's already there. She's already dealing with all of that
she's
stuff.
a baby coming
She's got a
in.
baby coming. Is she really going to be, like, divorce papers over this pizza incident? Obviously not. Like, she's coming to Reddit. But what I would say would be, okay, well, for now on, all the pizzas are going to be ordered gluten-free. You want me to share my pizza? Okay, no problem. Every single pizza is going to be ordered gluten-free
So I can
from
have
now
everyone
on.
else's too.
So that I can have the other ones too.
Yeah.
And if you don't like that,
Then let me eat my damn pizza myself.
yeah, no, like that would just be like in the future, like every single thing we're ordering, like you will never get anything that's not gluten-free. And then they'll teach him a lesson.
Yeah.
Guess what? Guess what the pasta in the house is going to be from now on? It's all gluten-free pasta.
Yeah, exactly.
Anything that has a gluten-free option, that's the only option we're getting in the house anymore. You want to share everything, then everything's going to be gluten-free.
Yeah.
Want gluten-free cookies? They don't taste as good as not gluten-free cookies. He will be the one suffering.
Yeah, as he should.
All right, moving on.
All right.
Back to you.
This one also comes from our very own subreddit,
What?
ThreadTalk podcast. Should I call out my dad if it could tear our family apart? I am an adult child of gray divorce, and my parents have been separated for under 12 months. And I just Googled it for those of you who don't know what gray divorce is. It means it's the demographic trend of an increasing divorce rate for older couples in long-lasting marriages, usually after the age of 50. Where's the story? When my mom first told me that she was leaving my dad, she said it was because years ago he told her he loved someone else. Let's call her Sadie. And they only stayed together for us kids until we all grew up and moved out. Now they have been separated less than a year, and my dad has told me he is in a relationship with Sadie. My siblings aren't aware that my dad had something with her while married to my mom, and my dad isn't aware that I know either. I have no proof that he cheated, other than emotionally, as he is a very by-the-rules kind of man. When I asked him how long they have been together, he just said, a little while now. My mom doesn't know about his new relationship, and I think it would really upset her. My dad has asked us not to tell her yet. When my dad first told me about this relationship, I was really happy for him, but now that I've had time to think about it, I'm not too sure. It's raised so many questions about his history with this woman while we were still a family with my mom. Now I don't know if he is the person I thought he was. Should I confront my dad about his history with this woman, or should I leave it alone and keep everyone on good terms?
Okay. What would I do? What would I do? You would probably leave it alone.
See, okay, that's your issue. For me, I can't not say how I'm feeling. Like, I feel like I don't know how to hide my emotions, and if I dislike someone, or if something is bothering me, I have to address it. Like, with you, I don't hold anything in, and you know that.
You should. Give me some peace.
That's so mean. But, like, I can't, because if something bothers me, I have to let you know. And yes, maybe that is toxic of me, but...
Well, maybe it's not, because I just bury everything down, and then at one point, the mountain explodes.
Yes.
The volcano goes off, and then then you're like, why have you had all these 17 problems for the past 6 months? Why don't you communicate? And I just bury it.
Yeah.
So I don't know who's right.
Yeah, I know. Me either.
Listen, this is what would you do, not what is the right thing to do.
Okay, what would you do? You would just...
I think I'd just stay silent. I don't want to get caught in that swamp. Messy swamp.
You don't think it would change the relationship with your dad?
Yeah. It will definitely change the relationship
No,
with your dad.
like, knowing that he's been with this girl, like, you don't think that you would...
Yeah, but like...
look at him differently?
Blowing him out to the rest of the family is going to change your relationship with him.
No, confront him.
Yeah. And confront him in front of the family, no?
No. Should I confront my dad about this history?
Oh.
Or should I leave it alone and keep everyone on good terms?
And keep everyone on good terms. So it sounds like it's not just her and him, it's everyone. So
I think I personally would confront my dad directly. I would only want to see like what he has to say. Obviously he would probably come clean. I don't think there would be like there's nothing that he would say that would, I guess, make...
What's he going to say that's going to make you feel better?
Yeah, but like...
you already know. So what, you're just going to confront him and have a blow up and like hear his excuses? Like, that's...
Is it going to be a blow up?
Is it going to do anything? Is it going to solve anything? Like, you already know he was seeing her before your parents got divorced. So like, you're just confronting him with knowledge that you already have. Like, you're looking for closure or something like that.
Yes.
But like, what's it really going to give you? It's going to give you nothing.
And
you're going to get nothing from it. You are almost guaranteed you will come out of it feeling shittier than when you went into it. You will not get what you're looking for.
I don't think so.
And I feel like that's the maturity that I have being 5 years older. I know just to like let it go sometimes. Like, it's not worth going down that rabbit hole.
I can't let things go.
I think in 5 years you will.
Maybe. My frontal lobe is already developed though.
Your code is still writing.
When I read the story, I did reply to OP. I said, if it were me, I would want to ask my dad directly. It could bring you some closure.
Did you comment that as if it was me, Teresa?
No.
Because you should also say, if it was Teresa.
Well, she's probably listening.
And if it was Denver, Denver would keep his mouth shut.
Sorry, he or she, I don't know OP's gender, but they're probably listening. So that's...
Well, that's our opinions.
Yeah, my opinion is I would confront him. I don't know if I would tell my mom. It depends how that conversation goes.
It's so funny. You love drama.
What?
Yeah. You're like, confront, confront, confront.
Yeah, because I can't hold it in. It would drive me mad. It would drive me insane. So, yeah, I would have to.
Doesn't it drive you insane when the person tries to cut in front of you for the elevator? Just say something to them.
No.
That's a great question. What would you do? You're waiting in line. You're like the sixth person back from the elevator in your condo lobby. There's 4 elevators that come from. Everybody's patiently waiting in the line. And you see one slab motherfucker walking past the line and goes right to the front. And then the elevator door opens up and he blasts in first. What would you do? Would you call him out saying, hey, buddy, there is a line? Or even the same thing at a grocery store. You're in the grocery store line. It's 10 people deep. Someone cuts to the front. What would you do? You're at an amusement park and somebody cuts in the front of the line ahead of you. What do you do when somebody cuts in the line ahead of you? You call them out or you stay silent?
You didn't do anything either.
No, I stay silent.
Yeah.
Silent is my route. I've been saying that this whole time. Peace.
Yeah, but to a stranger, it's different.
Well, I would like to also say that when it's stranger situations, I love calling strangers out. When you're around me, sometimes I want to confront them in public, but I know that you don't like me to do that. So then I don't want to do that to you. Yeah. If I was by myself, what are you doing, bro?
Yeah.
What are you doing cutting the line, bro?
Yeah. That's been fun.
Okay. There's a lot from our subreddit. I have another one from our subreddit.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I was going to do it next, but since you just read one, I'll mix it. I'll delay that.
Okay.
Delay that for a little bit longer. This one is coming from Am I Wrong? Posted 4 months ago. Am I wrong for booking the next flight home after my boyfriend blew up on me? My 21 female, boyfriend, 24 male, and I have a long distance relationship. We broke up early December, and after months of him begging relentlessly for me to take him back, I finally gave in and did. I realized that I did love and care about him, and I always would. I then decided to book a flight to see him under the agreement that he reimbursed me for half of the cost of the flight. He told me that he would pay me back in real life when I saw him because he doesn't have a debit card. Anyway, weeks later, he ended up telling me that he was too broke and that I should cancel the trip because he couldn't pay me back. To which I decided that I would just go on the trip anyways, and it doesn't matter if he paid me back because I wanted to see him that bad. By the time spring break rolled around, I got to his house that he shares with his 2 roommates, and we went to bed because my flight was later. I woke up the next morning and we laid in bed for a while before he decided to go to the gym with his roommate. I said it was fine because I had plans to see an old friend that lives in town. When I got back from seeing her for about 4 hours, he still hadn't come back. Finally, he came back like an hour later and came upstairs to his bedroom where I was to tell me that he was having some friends over to see the new house that he and his roommates had just bought. He asked me if I wanted to come downstairs to the living room, and I said yes, but he basically kept being kind of reluctant, so I got the hint that he didn't really want me to. After a while, he texted me, asking me to come downstairs, so I asked him if he could walk me downstairs and introduce me so I wouldn't be awkward and wouldn't be so nervous. He was super rude about it and left my text on read and then came up 20 minutes later to yell at me and tell me that I was acting childish. The next day we woke up, I sat next to him while I watched him play FIFA, and then he went to the gym with his roommate again. He was gone for 4 hours, and then he texted me saying that I can either book an Uber to see him wherever he and his roommate went after the gym, or I could stay at home all day. I asked him multiple times to just come get me, and he got super argumentative, and then he hung up and told me to get out of his house. So I booked an Uber to the airport and got on the earliest flight back to my hometown. part of me kind of feels guilty because when I was in the Uber to the airport, he called me and kind of acted like he felt bad and implied that I should go back to his house. I didn't, and I told him I rebooked the flight, and he got super nasty, and eventually he just blocked me. Am I wrong for doing that? What would you have done/done differently?
Grr. So it's making me mad. No, she handles it perfectly. She should not be second guessing any of it. And he showed you his true colors at the end there by blocking you? Are we four? What do you mean? Like you're in a long distance relationship. Oh, this one made me so mad. But like, if it were me, I don't think I would have let it get that far. I would have confronted you about it. And I would have been like, hey, I paid to come all the way out here to come see you. Why are you not spending time with me? I don't think it's too much to ask to want to spend time together. You can play FIFA with your boys. You can go to the gym with your boys. All the other times that I'm not here.
Yeah.
Prioritize me. That's what I would say. I would communicate with you. That's how I'm feeling. And if he didn't react well, bye. Then I'm booking my flight. Bye. That's the only thing I would have done differently. Is just communicate it first.
What person has somebody fly out to visit them and then they spend the time playing a video game?
No. I would lose my mind. No.
It's crazy.
Yeah. No. I don't know what else to say.
No, Piotr.
No, Piotr.
Yeah. What would I have done differently? I would have blocked him too.
Yeah. I would have blocked him first.
Not a healthy relationship. Top comment, not the asshole. Please block him and stay away from him. This is not a healthy relationship.
No.
Just like leaves her. Like, come on. Do better.
There's so many red flags.
You
He's
could
an
easily
asshole.
find better.
100%. Don't settle. Do not settle.
That was a minnow. Go find yourself a shark.
Huh? That was a what?
Minnow.
Minnow?
You little tiny little fishy.
I've never heard of that.
The minnow fish.
I don't know what that is.
They're like the really, really small ones. They're like this long.
Oh, I don't.
They look like minnows.
They look like minnows. All right. All right.
Back
Moving
to
on.
you. Yeah.
All right. Am I wrong for following the don't ask, don't tell policy in our marriage? I have been having arguments with my wife and standing my ground on a policy we made when we were dating. However, somehow, I feel I might be in the wrong and wanted to get a neutral opinion on the issue. For context, my wife and I, both in our mid-30s, are deeply religious. Please don't judge us on this. She is quick to judge people who do not have the same belief system as her. I also like our modest lifestyle and how great of a wife she has been. However, I was not always like this. I grew up in a small religious town in the South where our social life revolved around the church. I worked very hard to get into college on the East Coast, as far away from my town. As any person who has repressed his desires for years, I have a very wild college life and slept with a lot of girls. After I graduated, I continued to be the same until I met a girl who became deeply emotionally involved with me, despite I clearly communicating I wanted to date casually. Could not take the fact that I was with other girls when dating her, and she had an emotional breakdown, thought I was cheating on her. I cared about her too, and it broke something in me. I started therapy and learned that I had an addiction problem and worked very hard to improve myself. I also joined a church around that time and started appreciating my religious upbringing. I reconnected with my parents and sister and was celibate for almost 2 years. I only dated with the goal of getting married and met Amy, my wife. We have similar values and she was saving herself for marriage. I told her about my past and she said that she only cares about my present and future. As we started getting close, we started discussing sex, and she told me that she is worried that it would be painful when we eventually do it. But, being a stupid buffoon, I told her about girls who were virgins when we slept together, and how they described their experiences. She turned pale, like she saw a ghost, and we had a big fight. She said I should never mention anything about my exes or sex life to her ever again, and it was disgusting. I agreed, and we implemented our don't ask, don't tell policy. It basically means she would never ask me about my past and I would never bring it up. Recently, my friend Emily divorced with her husband. Emily was my best friend since childhood. We are from the same town and also is close to my wife. We all live in the same town. Emily and her husband were also part of our church. My wife and I let Emily move into our house while her husband moved out. My wife and I have been helping Emily with some household stuff and getting her life in order. This sometimes involves her calling us in the evening to take care of some stuff or help with her kids. My wife mentioned to me that she was a bit uncomfortable with me spending alone time with Emily because she is now single. However, she understands Emily is like family to me and wants me to help her and her kids in her time of need. So my wife asked me if Emily and I have ever been intimate in the past. She knows we never dated, but she wanted to know if we ever kissed. The truth is, Emily and I were friends with benefits for almost 3 years until I started therapy. Emily and I always kept it a secret and never told anyone. I am a changed man now, and I intend to stay loyal to my wife until I die. I told my wife that it is irrelevant, as I am a loyal husband now and cannot believe she would think I would be attracted to Emily. I did offer to her that I will not hang out with Emily alone and only go to her place when my wife is with me. My wife did not like me dodging the question and kept on prodding. I invoked our don't ask, don't tell policy that we had followed for more than 10 years now. My wife is upset at me that I am not giving her a straight answer. I, on the other hand, feel that it is unfair to me to tell her about Emily now when she forbade me to talk about it for all these years. I know that there is a good possibility that my wife would again freak out after knowing the truth, and most probably ask me to never see Emily again. I wanted opinions on what I should do in this case. Am I wrong for keeping the truth from my wife because we made a promise to never bring up my past, which is horrible when I think about it now? Or is my wife in the wrong to break our policy by asking me about Emily?
I mean, like, they're both wrong. Both wrong.
Yeah, I think you're right, actually.
Like,
Yeah.
you made the policy and now you're breaking it, but you're just digging yourself a hole by not answering the question.
Yeah.
Like, you think it's gonna go away.
Yeah, it's not going to go away.
So, like, maybe he should just lie.
What?
His wife can't handle knowing anyway. She doesn't want to know. Like, you made the policy.
Come on, you can't say lie.
I don't know.
No way. That's not fair.
Well, is it fair to him? It was her policy, and now she's reneging on it.
I think...
He tried to be open with her, and she didn't allow it.
Yeah, but now she wants to know.
Now she wants to know.
Yeah.
What if it destroys their whole relationship?
I don't know, but I think right now it's irrelevant because she's staying in their house. I wouldn't want someone staying in our house that you were friends with benefits for 3 freaking years.
I would absolutely agree with that.
So there's like, whether she knows, like, it's almost irrelevant if she wasn't living in the house, but because she's living there, I feel she needs to know. Like, she has a right to know.
Yeah, I agree.
Whether there's feelings there or not, or if he's attracted to her or not anymore. Like, it's still, 3 years is a long time.
Yeah, I'm kind of out on this one. I'm not a religious person, so...
Yeah.
It sounds like a lot of their decision-making is based on their very religious beliefs. And I'm not there. So, I mean, God would tell them not to lie.
Yeah.
Right? So just own up to it, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely would. I think he should definitely tell the truth. And yeah, one of the top comments is quoting OP, "Please don't judge us on this." Next line, "Wife is quick to judge people who do not have the same belief system as her." OP really typed this out and posted it, huh? No self-reflection?
I would agree with that.
Yeah, 100%. Like, we can't judge you for being super religious, but you can judge us for not being super religious.
I don't want to be... I don't necessarily want to go there, but I kind of... I've always kind of felt like the super religious people judge people really harshly.
Yeah.
And the people who aren't religious are more open and
Yeah, you can do
welcome
whatever you
arms, do
want.
what you want.
Yeah.
But people who are the crazy Christians or religious people are like, you're a sinner.
Yeah, they have the most judgment. And I think
Yeah.
it's really ironic that he literally put those lines side by side.
Yeah. And I don't want to like anger any of our fans who are very
No.
religious and whatnot. I don't mean to upset anybody.
Yeah, I mean,
But I do feel that way.
and that's not like to say everyone who's super religious is this way.
Yeah.
I think it's just obviously a stereotype. And
But-
something that we have experienced. Like,
Yeah, but it's kind of accurate. Like I've had it happen to me.
yeah,
So,
exactly.
yeah.
So there is an update. I posted a few days ago regarding not telling my wife that my best friend and I were friends with benefits a long time ago. I did this because my wife did not want to know about my horrible past, and we had a don't ask, don't tell policy in our marriage. I thank you all for your comments and confirming what I already knew in my mind. Lying to my wife and keeping my past from her was never my intention, but we have been married for 10 years now, and I did not risk losing my wife's trust and respect over something that happened 14 years ago. I talked to my wife over the weekend. The truth was far more horrible than what I wrote in the previous post. I sat my wife down and I told her that I want to come clean and tell her about everything. I told her that I have some conditions, though. Firstly, I will not give a yes and no answer to her question, and she will have to listen to all the details. She can judge me, but has to know that I am not the man that I was at that time. I was a horrible, morally bankrupt person before she met me, but through God, family, and therapy, I have overcome my demons and work every day to repent my sins. Secondly, she will have to answer questions about her feelings truthfully to me after she hears about my past. She agreed. I told her the truth about Emily and me. Emily and I were friends since high school. While I went to college, Emily stayed home and started a job. She was dating my friend Josh since high school. I discovered a whole new world in college and found myself drawn to behaviors that I knew were against God's will, including engaging in sexual relationships with multiple partners at a time. It was like a game for me. Once, I was visiting my parents over a break and Emily was curious about my college life. I described my sexual experiences to her and she kept asking more and more questions. One thing led to another and we started sleeping together. Josh and Emily were saving themselves for marriage and waiting for Josh to get a steady job. This lasted for 3 years, and Emily and I hooked up every time I visited home. It was our little secret. When I finally decided to seek help, I informed Emily about it. She made me promise to never talk about our fling to anyone. I felt guilty never telling the truth to Josh, but she broke up with Josh soon after. I rediscovered my spirituality and recognized the importance of repentance and recognition of my personal sin. Since then, I have lived a very disciplined life and have been a loyal husband to my wife. Amy had tears in her eyes, and I really was scared that she would leave me after hearing about my horrible past. However, she told me that she still stands by the fact that she cares about my present and my future and would never judge me. She said that God, in His infinite mercy, did not abandon me. My wife assured me that she loves me and always will. She trusts me, but just wanted to know about Emily since things have changed now. I asked her if any of my actions suggested that disloyalty, and why Emily. She told me that when Emily's husband affair came to light, it was very shocking how such an upstanding, God-fearing man would have a year-long affair with his co-worker and father a child out of wedlock. This was not an isolated incident, as we had similar incidents happen in our church during the last few years. Amy told me that it just shook her to her core. Amy was the one who suggested Emily and kids move in with us until her husband moved out of their family home. Emily only stayed with us for a week. Emily started calling us a lot as we supported her through this rough time. However, it bothered my wife that Emily would just call me during evenings after work, after the kids went to sleep, for support. We would just sit and talk for 30 to 45 minutes and I would leave. The final straw was a week ago when we all went to the park with Emily's kids and was chasing them while my wife and Emily were talking. Emily told me and my wife that I would one day be a great father and how much I love her kids. She told my wife to start trying harder to have kids so that we can complete our family and hopefully God would make me a father soon. My wife has struggled with infertility issues and despite trying every medical procedure, God has still not blessed us with a child. I have suggested adoption, but my wife says that God will hear our prayers and we just have to try as hard as we can. Amy said that her discussion with Emily made her feel incomplete and bad that she is not able to make me a father. Her head started spiraling and she started thinking that since I love Emily's kids and Emily is now single, I might leave her to go to Emily. That was the reason she wanted to know if Emily and I were ever romantically involved. I assured Amy that I would never betray her and she is enough for me. It was very emotional to see her feel bad about things that she cannot control. I also am to blame, as I am sure God is punishing her for my sins in the past. However, I intend to be loyal to the woman who literally saved me and be the best husband possible. I again thank you all for being frank and straightforward and helping me tell my wife about this past.
I feel like I want to vomit. I want to vomit in my mouth.
That was a lot.
Just listening to the word God being said so many times in a paragraph, it makes me unwell. I don't like this. I don't like this whole story. I don't like them. I'm sorry. I'm out. I'm out on this one. I believe that honesty is the best thing. You shouldn't have ever gone into a marriage or relationship where you couldn't tell your partner your past. So you should never have had
It already started off wrong.
Yeah, I should never have had a don't talk, don't tell policy.
Don't ask, don't tell.
Yeah, should never have had that. One sentence that I really didn't like that was near the beginning was, I was a horrible, morally bankrupt person before she met me, but through God, family, and therapy, I've overcome my demons, and I work every day to repent my sins. That's so cringe to me.
I do agree.
I can't handle that.
I agree.
That you work every day. Bro, just own up to it. That
Yes.
you had a dick and you're having fun time in college and whatever. Like,
to be honest, and I hope I don't anger anybody with this, but I feel like people who are turned into a very religious person after doing shitty things is just a way to what's the word? Like,
make yourself feel
make
better.
yourself feel better, also not own up to those things. It's just
Yeah.
a way of like kind of getting a pass.
Yeah, you get like a free pass.
Free pass because you found God
repent
now.
and you found God and you get an automatic apology. It's like, why don't you work at just being a better
Just own
human
up to
being?
it.
Own
Yeah.
up to it. Like, I slept around way before I met Teresa in
Yeah.
college. And well, not really. It was after college, but like whatever. But like, I don't think of myself as a horrible overcoming my demons and how to repent with my sins. Like, what? And then there's another part where they talk about how she hasn't had kids, and I've suggested adoption, but my wife says that God will hear our prayers and that we just have to try as hard as we can. Well, maybe if you were a true God person, don't you think it's acceptable for maybe you to help some little babies out that don't have parents anymore?
Yeah.
I didn't like that part either.
I didn't
Like,
like that
because
part
you're
either.
a true God believer, that God will give you a child. Like, maybe God wants you to adopt. Maybe God's not letting you
Yeah.
have a child because he wants you to adopt because you have so many freaking children out there who don't have any parents. Like,
Yeah.
there's so many things that I'm just like, I can't handle this stuff and I'm out.
Yeah.
I take the God part out of the religious cult talk out of this. Don't have a marriage where you have a don't talk, don't tell rule.
Don't ask, don't tell.
Whatever that is. We don't have that. It's been 7 years. We have a great relationship. Does Teresa like to hear about my ex-girlfriends? No. Have we talked about it? Yeah, we've talked about it. Does Teresa know everything? I think so. I don't know. Pretty sure I've answered every question she's ever had. I don't have a don't ask, don't tell policy.
Yes.
I've had a I tell everything policy, and eventually Teresa stopped asking questions.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. I think the marriage started off on the wrong foot already by having this policy. It was doomed from the start.
And that's what I meant when at the very beginning, before your update, I said just keep lying because you've already gone so far 10 years down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Your relationship is too fragile to handle truth.
Yeah.
There's going to be a 3-month update. This ain't going well. This is not going well. It's going downhill.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I hope I didn't offend anybody. And I don't mind. I don't want to offend anybody. I'm sorry, but I got to speak my truth. I got to speak my feelings, my opinions is all it is.
Yes.
If you are a very religious person, I hope you have a great and a wonderful day. I'm not on board with this talk. And I grew up, my parents went to church every Sunday. I had to go to church.
Me too.
I've been to church a lot.
Me too.
I'm not on board with this stuff.
Yeah, I think it's just overboard.
Yeah. This is too much. Just own up for your stuff. You don't get an automatic thing and you're not repentant for your sins. I can't get on board with that stuff. I'm sorry.
I agree.
Like confession. You know what? I never grew up, my church upbringing, there was never a confession box. You didn't get to go to confession. You just ate the little bread circle and drank the non-alcoholic wine. When they bless you.
Yeah.
It's the favorite part.
Yeah.
Anybody else who was a kid, the church was like 3 hours long. And then when you go as an adult, it's like a 40-minute service.
It always seems like forever as a kid. Yeah.
Like forever when I was a kid. Okay.
Okay.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
Please. No more God stories, please.
Okay. Sorry.
All right. Back to me. This one is coming from r/ThreadTalk podcast.
Ooh.
If you guys got any juicy stories, you guys want to get them on the air, throw them up on our subreddit, and we will see what we can do to find the theme, fit them into a future episode. Okay. This one's titled, I Hate the Person I Work With. So, I've been working with this person, let's call her Kate, 32 female, for 8 months now, and I can't stand her. It's gotten to the point where I don't want to go to work sometimes, but I always end up going to work because I love my job. I didn't always hate her. When she first started, she seemed nice, and I'm very nice to everyone I meet because that's just the type of person that I am. And then I started noticing that she hardly does any work at all. When given a task, she will pass it on to someone else to do. What upsets me the most is the fact that I got this job as a junior chef and worked extremely hard to become a senior chef in less than 6 months. They hired her on as a senior, yet I work 6 times harder than her. To make things even worse, she's supposed to end her shift at 5 p.m., but would stand around during the whole day and do absolutely nothing. And then when it gets close to 5, she'll start doing some work so that she can get paid overtime. As soon as it seems like I have nothing to do, my head chef would immediately give me something to do, but doesn't hold the same energy when it comes to Kate. One day I just lost it and complained about Kate to my head chef. I told her that it upsets me knowing that someone on the same level as me doesn't even have to do any work and gets paid more than me. Also, every other staff member complains about Kate to me, saying things like she's lazy, and if they knew they could get paid for doing nothing, they would also stand around and do nothing. They say these things to me, but when we have a meeting about it, everyone pretends that they have no problem with Kate. I complained about her again to the head chef, and what she told me was, quote, well, I fully understand, but at least she's trying to do a bit more. That's when I said I give up. And she's your problem now. If she messes up, I'm not going to be fixing her mistakes again. Obviously, she's made many mistakes because she's so lazy she doesn't even pay attention to her job. I guess my problem is now I just can't stop getting upset about how I have to work hard and get paid less. One of my friends said, if you can't beat them, join them. But I can't do that. I hate letting people down, and I know if I stop working the way I do, a lot of people will be under a lot of stress and might even quit their job. I want to report her to the owner of the restaurant and get her a warning or something. Anything to help this situation, but I don't want to cause any trouble at work. What should I do?
We haven't read any stories like this before.
Like a work one.
Yeah.
Do you remember that one guy at work or a coworker that's just lazy, absolutely does nothing?
Yeah.
And you have to pick up the slack?
Yeah, it's shitty. And I'm glad that you spoke up about it. And what's also shitty is your boss's response. Like, she's trying.
Oh, she's trying.
Well, then, yeah, I would agree. Then don't pick up her slack.
Mm-hmm.
Like, have her fix it then. If she's trying, then she can fix her mistakes herself.
Yep.
Yeah, and this would make me not want to go into work either.
Same.
And this would make me resent the person.
This used to happen to me at Tormont.
Really?
Yeah. I would always have to like pick up the slack, and I'm like, well, can we train them to do their job first, can we train them to do their job right before it gets to me so that I don't have to do more work when it gets to me?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, they're trying the best they can.
No.
I'm like, oh, okay, so because they're trying, we're not going to tell them how to do the job properly, and then I have to spend more time once the packaging gets to me, and then I have to repack it again because they're not packing it properly the first time. Oh, okay.
At that point, I don't know if your boss is okay with them just trying, then I would say, yeah, match their level. If you can't beat them, join them.
I checked out and I joined them, and I started just slacking as much as I could.
Yeah, I would just do the same, do the bare minimum. I started my full-time career bushy-eyed and what's the say, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Yeah. Very excited to start my job, and putting in those extra hours, especially in public accounting. Oh my gosh, it was brutal putting in those hours. But then I just learned not to care, and I'm just like, my job isn't my entire life, and a lot of these corporations think that it is, and they treat you as if it is. So I've learned to not care anymore, and I'm not doing a shit job. I'm just doing my job. Not going above and beyond. And some people can do that. Some people can't. Some people like to do the above and beyond. I started off like that, but I'm learning, if you do that, you only get rewarded with more work.
Exactly.
And it's a shitty cycle because they don't reward the people, good people with raises or anything. They reward you with more tasks, and that's what I've learned in this job, and I'm happy to be leaving. And
that's pretty much what everybody learns when you're young in the workforce or the new job. You're gung-ho, you're trying to make a good impression, you're trying to do a good job, and then you'll find that the people that have been there for 10, 15, 20 years, they're lazy as fuck. And then as a young guy, you're like, or person, you're pissed off. You're like, why can't you put in an extra effort? I'm working hard over here. And they've been through it. They were you one day. And they got beat down by the management, by corporate, tried to make things better, don't want to hear it, just do what we tell you to do. So eventually they just check out. I'm here to get my paycheck. I'm punching my clock. I'm getting my dollars to keep the roof over my head. And then I'm out. And that is kind of what happens to everybody. You come in, you're young, you're hot, you're fresh, you're gung-ho. And the older people who have learned that I just want to do as little as possible and go home.
I honestly
and then
respect
the other people have to pick up the slack.
Yeah, because as a new person, you're trying to make a good impression, and yeah, I've been there too. Especially when you love your job. OP seems to, she loves her job. I don't know if I could ever relate to that. I don't think I will ever love a job.
Yeah, I could see that. I don't know. Even when I was at BMW, there what 2022, I loved my job at BMW. 2022 was flowing.
Because you had, you got recognition for your output.
I guess I did, yeah.
Because you were based on commission.
Yeah.
So if you put in more work, you receive the benefits of that. Whereas if you're on salary, it's the same.
Exactly. It's Teresa, you were really stressed a little while ago, and we were going for a walk, and I was like, listen, you punch your clock. Do what you can in the time that you're at work, and then check out. If you don't get it done, you don't get it done. You'll start doing it tomorrow. Yeah. That's how I used to be at Tormont. I would putting stock away, in the warehouse. I was a warehouse worker, and we were putting stock away, and truckloads, skids of inventory would come in, and they were piling up everywhere across the warehouse. At the end of the aisles, we had to stack them up, and they weren't being put away. And management was like, okay, well, there's no more overtime. We're cutting the overtime back. And I'm just I put in 20 hours a week of overtime every single week. And I'm always putting stock away late at night. And this was when I was on a 3 to 8 shift, 2:30 to 11, 2:30 to 11. And I put 4 hours of OT. I worked till 3 a.m. Every single night. I would just be putting away the inventory so that it could get bought and picked the next day. And then eventually corporate was like, no more overtime. And then, okay, so am I going to work extra hard to get stuff done during the day? No, I'm just going to do my job. I'm going to go at a reasonable pace. I'm going to do the bare minimum. And then eventually at one point they started looking at like our pick rates on our gun. They're like, we expect you to pick this amount. This is what you need to be doing by hour. Am I going to try and be the highest earner and the highest pick rate? No, I'm going to do the bare minimum I can to not get in trouble anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
And the inventory just started stacking up. And then eventually I had to bring the OT back, the O time back.
Yeah. 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 They shouldn't have taken it away. They thought they were being smart by saving money, but
Exactly.
it's not more efficient that way.
No. And in this person's situation, like I commented and I was like, it might be a good time to start looking for a new job. And maybe you'll get a raise while you're at it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not terrible to look for new jobs. Trust me, this is going to be my 4th job going into, and I just graduated in 2020.
I'm on like my 30th job right now.
Yeah.
Wait, I don't have a job right now. This is my job.
This is your job.
Lucky
you.
I am the host. Co-host over here.
Yeah. But I don't think I would ever like love my job. I think I chose as an accountant, as a CPA, I think I chose a really mundane area of work.
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm not.
Don't you have a dream job?
I always say, like, when I think of my dream job, I think, like, what would actually make me happy if I could, like, learn how to do it properly. I think baking would, like, actually make me excited to wake up every morning.
That'd be fun.
Like, being, like, a baker or, like, just, like, not something, like, in a stressful restaurant or anything, because I've been in the restaurant business for
Cora's
7 years, like, insane. But, like, if I could, like, do it from home and just do, like, a small business type of thing, I think I would like that.
Should we put in an industrial kitchen in for you in the new house?
No, I don't want to commit to it that, like, it's just, I don't know. I wouldn't even know how to start. Like, starting your own business sounds like hell, too, though.
Yeah. It's a lot.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of time.
To promote it and...
You got to keep doing it.
Yeah.
My dream job, if anybody wants to help hook me up with this, I want to be the bulldozer operator for Monster Energy Supercross.
Yes.
I want to build dirt bike tracks with a bulldozer. That would be my dream job.
Sounds lit.
Yeah. Equipment operator used to always be my dream job. I remember one day we were coming home from the beach and my mom like stopped off with like a construction company and trying to see if I could get a job. I was 12.
Oh.
And they said, come back when you're 18. I never got an equipment job. I went to school for heavy equipment mechanics and I was like, man, maybe I should have took the operator course. But then they said that the mechanics make more money. So I was like, okay. But I don't know why I never tried to get an operator's job. I would love to just operate equipment all day. It'd be great.
Yeah. Now you're a full-time podcaster.
I am a full-time podcaster. And with your help, guys, one day I will buy my own bulldozer.
Hell yeah.
Smash the like button if you want to see that come true. Okay. The OP replied to my comment and they said, I have been thinking about getting a new job, but it's extremely difficult to get a job with the same hours I currently work. Every single job that I apply for is like minimum 16-hour days. And as a chef, you always work overtime. So that could go up to 18 hours.
What?
How does that even make sense? When do you sleep? You have no life.
How are restaurants open for that long?
So, I don't know. I've been watching The Bear.
I guess prep.
Morning prep. I've been watching The Bear on Disney Plus, and it's like it shows him being at work at 8 a.m.
When I worked at Cora's.
Okay, but that's a morning. That's a breakfast place.
Yeah.
This dude, I don't know about the show. The show, they tried to make the show pretty realistic to like what it actually is, I think. And he's at 8 a.m. and like they don't have a breakfast option.
Yeah.
Like I don't even think they have a lunch. I don't even think they have a lunch service. I think they're only a dinner service restaurant.
That's crazy.
And he's there prepping at 8. And then they prep. And then after the night's over, they have to wash the kitchen. Yeah. So you're cooking until 10 p.m. And then you got to wash till midnight.
That's crazy.
You have no time.
That is crazy.
That's insane.
Hats off to you, chefs.
How do people work that many hours? I thought I worked a lot, and I worked 12-and-a-half-hour days.
Yeah.
At Tormont. I thought that was a lot.
Wow.
Apparently that's nothing.
That's crazy. You guys are really doing the Lord's work.
I would just love how to like learn how to like cut, where you like put your knuckles in front of your fingernails and you go chop 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 chop, and it goes so fast, and you're like the blade is against your knuckles. And then you don't cut yourself and it goes really fast. I would like to learn how to cut like that.
YouTube. Let's YouTube it.
We need to get some better knives.
Yeah, we do.
You know what we need? We need a knife sponsor.
Yes.
We need a knife sponsor.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on. I feel like we're getting really sidetracked now. Sorry.
Over to you.
Sorry, guys. All right. Am I the asshole for abandoning my parents at an island in the Caribbean so I could get back to our cruise in time? I graduated from high school back in December. As a gift, my parents got me a cruise. It was also my 18th birthday. It was also a family vacation. We usually stay at an all-inclusive resort, but I have always wanted to go on a cruise. I told my parents it was different, and that if we went on excursions, we had to follow the schedule no matter what. Well, it was a week-long cruise, and they would not head back to the ship when I told them it was time to go. They were busy shopping and bargaining with the locals. I finally said that I was heading back to the ship. My mom waved me off. They missed the departure by a lot, like 45 minutes. They got a hold of me through WhatsApp. They wanted to know why I didn't get the boat to wait for them. I wanted to scream that they were not going to inconvenience 3,998 people because 2 could not understand what a schedule was. They ended up having to fly to the next port from there, and it was expensive. They are pissed at me for leaving them behind. I don't know what I was supposed to do. They literally told me that they knew what they were doing. I wish I had never asked for this. They are making me miserable because I left without them.
What would Denver do? Do the exact same thing this guy did.
Yeah, but okay.
You said you knew what you were doing.
But also, what are you going to do on a cruise by yourself? Like, I don't know.
They'll catch up.
Yeah, but like, wouldn't you just rather be with your family? Wherever it is? Like,
No,
the people that you're going with?
I paid for the cruise.
No, they paid for the cruise.
Parents paid for the cruise?
I think. As a gift, yeah. It was a gift.
Even better. It's a gift to me. You're not ruining my gift.
I guess, yeah. I think for me, because I like to be around people and I don't want to be by myself, I'm an introvert, I'm not going to socialize with strangers, I would rather stay behind with my family.
Okay, for me, I 100% know that I am leaving everybody, anybody, my family, you, I'm leaving everybody behind because I'm not dealing with your stuff. But
this is interesting because actually, let's rewind back to the TFSA one, not the TFSA.
But yeah, going through the airport.
Going through the airport.
Yeah. That's if it was you, not my family.
You said me too.
Well, yeah. Okay, I did.
Guys,
I'm not actually going to leave Teresa even if she's being dumb on our cruise. I'm sticking by Teresa. But if
if
it's my family, like, have fun. See you later. See you when you catch up.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I wouldn't.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Okay. Part of me would like want to stay with them
to prove a point.
Sorry. Yeah, I didn't think of that.
Stay with them.
Yeah, like stay with them.
Okay.
I guess to prove a point too. We all miss it together. I can make fun of you when we're missing it.
That's true.
You get prove a point. Yeah. We're on the dock. I told you guys so. There's the boat. It's gone.
Yeah.
But like, I kind of would want to be there to be like kind of like the fly on the wall. You know,
yeah.
like, I kind of want to see
their reaction.
This disaster happen. So I would probably be staying, and I would have my camera would be on. I'm a vlogger.
Purely for entertainment.
My GoPro
purposes.
would be on of recording them miss their cruise, and I'd be narrating it. And then a small portion of me would be like, I don't know what's gonna happen to them when they get left behind.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm gonna be able to figure this out, and I'll get back safely wherever I need to go. But can I trust them to not end up living here for the rest of their life?
Your family's very smart. They definitely would not have an issue.
I know Kat can handle it.
Literally everyone in your family.
I'm worried about my dad.
Your dad has Liz.
So yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to decide, would I leave them or would I stay? I feel like I could do both. I feel like I would be like, I'm taking the taxi. No, I know what I would be doing. They wouldn't be bargaining anymore. I would be physically moving them out of the store. My arms would be wide, and we are walking now.
Yeah.
Give me your hand. I'm dragging. I'm pushing. I'm not letting you miss it.
Forcing.
Yeah, I feel like that's what I would actually do in that situation. Is like, I'm not letting you miss the cruise.
Yeah.
If we get back to the cruise and we don't leave for a very long time, you can say I told you so.
Yeah.
But when we get back to that cruise and we leave 5 minutes after we get on the ship, I'm telling you I told you so. But I think if I have to think about it, I think I'm actually going to force you to get into the taxi so that we don't miss it. I think that would probably be what I would do. I'd force them back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what I would do.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You would just stay silent. Guys, I think we should go. I'm okay. I'm sorry.
If it was your family, I think I would stay silent. I wouldn't be like, guys, let's go. But if it was my family, I would be like, guys, let's fucking go.
That's true. It would be a yelling match in the shop.
Yes, it would.
Everybody would be yelling at each other.
Yes, my family is Italian. It's just in our blood.
We were having dinner with them last night. I'm just at the end of the table. And next thing I know, I'm just like, what's the decimal rating in this place? Everybody's just shouting at the top of their lungs. They can't decide.
That's just a normal conversation. Like,
yeah.
nothing was getting heated. It was just, that's the way we talk. We yell.
Apparently. I'm like, is there an app on my phone that'll tell me like the decibels that are happening right now? The sound level at this moment? Oh,
I'll just read the top comment. Not the asshole. They seriously think that the ship will delay for 45 minutes? Yeah, no. The docks and ship have a schedule to keep. They are adults and need to be responsible for getting back on time, which is something you have figured out in less than 6 months of being an adult. At least you don't have to go on any more vacations with them after this.
Yep, exactly. Have you seen the videos of the people that get left behind at the docks?
No.
I've seen them on TikTok.
Like, how dumb can you be? Like, I don't know. As a type A person that I need a plan. I need to like follow a schedule to a T. Like that would just never happen to me.
No.
And I just don't understand people who are like nonchalant, go with the flow. Yeah, they'll wait for us.
I just remember the video of like the ship is literally taking off from the dock. It just started moving. So that it's like, it's still in the dock. It's only it's just slightly moved away. They don't move very fast. So like as the taxi's driving up, you're like, oh yeah, cruise ship's still in the dock. And the video is like the taxi's like driving down to the dock. 2 people get out and the boat is slowly moving. And they're like waving their arms like, no, come get us. Yeah. Like you're still here. Like, no, the ship is not redocking. Like you're done.
That's rough.
You're done. Bye. Keep waving.
Yeah, that's really rough.
Yeah.
It wouldn't happen to us because you have me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think you would let it happen either.
No, I think I could handle that.
Yeah.
I think I could definitely set an alarm and get back to the boat. Like if it's like you're gonna miss it, I'm not gonna miss it. Does that mean that we need to come back 3 hours early? No, 15 minutes. Like we're good. What's the last time we can board? Okay, 20 minutes before that, we're good. We don't need to go to the airport 4 hours early before our flight.
We're not getting into this now. Next.
Oh my God, we have to fly out soon.
Yes,
Can't wait. You know what?
I work that day. Our flight's at 9 p.m.
It's a late night one. Guys, we were thinking that we're going to do an Italian podcast episode. We're going to do...
Oh, yeah, we just told Patreon.
Yeah, we're going to do like a story at a time. We're going to do a story a day, and we'll give you a little bit of our Italian trip recap at the end of the day. And I was thinking maybe we could do the first episode in the airport if we can find an area that's not busy, because Teresa doesn't want to do this podcast in front of people.
I have social anxiety.
No, that makes sense. I mean, it's awkward. People filming at the airport. We got to be secluded. But now I'm just realizing we're going to get there so early. We'll definitely be able to find a place where nobody is because we're going to be 4 hours early.
Yeah. We're going to leave right at 5 when I clock off.
Yeah.
We're getting to the airport for 6. 3 hours.
I'm like, I can go like an hour and a half early, 2 hours early. I'll be fine. But
it's an international flight.
And every time we've gone, we're an hour and a half waiting. But every time...
Let me know in the comments what you guys do. Because I would love other
What would you do at the airport? Do you go early or do you go on time? I'm an on-time person, and Teresa's like, we need to be 3.5 hours early.
They say go 3 hours early for international flights. I
know they say that. But every single time we've gone on a flight together...
But what if this time is... not the same.
Okay. But I'm saying I do it for you. I don't mind going early and just doing stuff on my laptop and my phone and just chilling out. I got no problem with that. But if I was in control, we would be an hour later. I would shim an hour off.
No.
That's just me. So.
That's just, I don't know. That's the way I've been traveling with my parents growing up. It was always 3 hours. Even if we were going to Cuba, like it was 3 hours at the airport.
No problem.
Yeah.
Whatever makes you feel better. All right, back to me.
Yes.
We got to wrap this episode up.
Yes.
We're coming to an end. I didn't go as fast as I thought I would. I'm 3 stories short. So I'm going to be putting those onto our next Patreon episode. So if you guys don't already know, Patreon, full bonus episodes for you guys. Right now, There's 7 episodes for you guys to go and check out on Patreon. So it's well worth it. You guys are also helping support us, so we very much appreciate that. You can get the audio done through Spotify as well, so you can have it all linked up with Spotify, so you get both the episodes, bonus and regulars, coming through, so you're like on the regular schedule. So yeah, we appreciate you guys. So I'm gonna have to put my excess stories into Patreon, because I've got a couple updates from previous stories that I want to tell you guys about. I got 2 updates from 2 of my previous stories.
Woohoo.
So if you guys have been following along for the previous episodes and everything, you guys are going to enjoy this. So the first one that I've got is from the original story. It was, I had a baby as a result of an affair, and now his wife is reaching out to me. So the original post was from January 28th. I can't remember which episode we read this story on. I don't know. You guys let us know in the comments. You guys know. Update. This one's coming from June 15th. I won't rehash the whole thing here, but my previous posts are on my profile. I got pregnant from an affair with a married guy. He wanted me to have an abortion. I decided I didn't want to have one. He turned mean. I promised not to name him as the father or pursue him for any sort of child support. I moved away from where him and his family were located. I'm about 12 hours away from him now, back from where my family is from. I haven't reached out to him in the now over 3 years since. His ex-wife reached out to me out of the blue via social media, initially claiming she wanted to connect with me so that our kids could get to know each other. When I politely declined for the time being, as her kids are teenagers and my son is a toddler and we live states apart, she revealed she was really reaching out on the behalf of her ex-husband, who had supposedly had a change of heart about being involved in our kid's life after nearly dying in an accident. I did not engage with her any further after that. It all made me feel very uncomfortable. Later, I received a letter in the mail from him. He asked to be involved with our son, to provide for him, etc. It still felt weird. I mean, he turned really mean and didn't want anything to do with me or our baby, and hadn't made any attempt to contact me in years. And I was not hiding. His wife was obviously able to find me on social media, and you can find my address online. I felt like if he was serious, he'd take the steps to establish paternity legally, and that's what he did. Around 1.5 months ago, we were ordered to submit DNA samples for a paternity test. It took about 5 weeks to find out what I already knew it'd say, but now things are stalled for another several weeks for the next step in the court process. I haven't talked to him during this whole thing. I didn't respond directly to his letter. I do have a lawyer, and everything is basically going through him now. Then, without any warning, he just showed up at my home last weekend. Just knocked on the door like it was nothing. Basically, this is his son, and he doesn't want to wait for another 6 weeks for the court to inevitably order us into some sort of custody mediation anyway. His words. Why can't I just talk to him? I told him he made me uncomfortable, and him just showing up at my house really made me uncomfortable. Honestly, I don't know what made me so uncomfortable. The fact that he showed up unannounced like that, or the fact that I instantly felt the same attraction to him that I had when I was with him. And I didn't want to feel that at all. In some weird way, part of me felt happy to see him, and the other part of me was disgusted that I was happy. He said he doesn't understand why we can't talk about this. He's not trying to take my son away from me. He just wants to be involved with his life and to help provide for him like he should have been all along. He's sorry he wasn't there when he was born. He's sorry he reacted the way that he did when I didn't go along with his plans to take me to an abortion vacation. Why can't I believe that he just wants to be a dad to his kid? I guess I agree with him. Why can't I just accept that he has had a change of heart? I can't trust myself. I can't trust my own judgment. I feel like if I easily let him into my son's life, I'm going to end up regretting it and be made a fool of somehow. I've already made so many mistakes when it comes to him. He says it's stupid for me to not try to work it out amongst ourselves first. I'm giving so much control to the court. I don't know whether to believe that or to think that it's just his way of convincing me to do what he wants. I know he'll get some sort of visitation and eventually custody. Maybe it would be better if we try to come to an agreement. But he had the ability to sway me so easily. I'm so stupid when it comes to him. Nobody else has ever made me feel so foolish in my life. I want my son to have a dad. I admit it's probably selfish of me to want to keep him away. I just keep imagining having to spend weeks or months apart from my child while he's living with his dad 12 hours away, and I can't stand the thought of it. I'm just feeling sad, stupid, and defeated.
I don't think you're being dumb. I think you're actually being really smart and a good parent because you have your guard up for valid reasons. Like, I also think it's a little bit weird that all of a sudden he wants a part in your son's life. Like, what is the incentive here? What is his goal? Why out of the blue is he wanting to do this?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. Like, yeah, I would also think there are, I don't know, other I don't know what he could possibly do wrong, but I would agree with you that, like, yeah, maybe having him in your son's life before it goes through the court process, like, could somehow not be good for your son or you. I don't know what he could do, but
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't
Like
know if,
maybe he is kind of right where like maybe you guys should work it out between yourselves. Like I don't actually
I
know.
don't know either.
I would say go by what your lawyer says. Like
Yeah.
does your lawyer think it's good to try to mediate outside of the courts because that could be
Probably
better for
not.
you?
I don't
I
think so.
I would trust my lawyer. If my lawyer says maybe that you can get to a better solution without the courts, then okay, but if the lawyer wants to go through the courts, then we're going through the courts.
Yeah.
I trust the lawyer on this one.
Yeah.
Back to you.
Okay. Mine's very, very short. It's just a what would you do type of question. I just wet the bed at my friend's house in the guest room. What should I do? I don't know what to do. How do I get the smell out? I feel so embarrassed and ashamed. Is there anything I can do to clean it up without anyone noticing? It wasn't my entire bladder that got emptied out, just a little puddle, but it definitely soaked through a little. What would you do?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
What would you do? And have you done this before?
Oh my god. I don't even know. I try to hide it, find extra bed sheets.
I wouldn't.
You just tell your friend?
I would just tell him.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I think it's more work to try to hide it. Whereas, like, I don't know, you just come clean. I think it's like, I don't know, like I've as an adult done that before. I think it's been a long time, but I've done it like a few years ago. I would say, like, I don't know, sometimes it just happens. Accidents happen. Like, that friend's not going to be like, oh my god, you're disgusting. And if he does, he's a shitty friend, he
That's
or she.
true. That's true. Yeah, just be honest about it. And if your friend is rude and makes you feel bad about it, then maybe that's not a friend that you need.
Yeah, exactly. If they shame you, like, I don't, stuff happens. It's like, sometimes you drink a little too much before bed. And
Yeah, sometimes you shit the bed.
I've never done that. I've never done that.
Sorry. I mean, sometimes you accidentally shit your pants when you can't make it to the toilet.
I have also never done that. What the fuck? That's funny.
All right, so this is going to be my last one. All right, so we're going to end it with this one. But before we get into that, we just want to say thank you guys so much for coming on this journey with us. 34 episodes. It's amazing.
Yeah.
We're getting more downloads every single week because you guys are sharing this with like friends and family and such. Thank you guys so much. We do have Patreon where if you guys wanted full bonus episodes that come out every Friday, you can go over to Patreon and you're helping support us and we very much appreciate that. The easiest way that you guys could support us though is just by smashing the like button on this YouTube video, dropping a comment down on Spotify, throwing up that 5-star Spotify review, and it's very much appreciated.
Yes. We appreciate you guys so much. We say it every single week, but we really, really do. And it's incredible, like, how fast we've been growing and how much, like, you guys actually want to listen to us and our opinions. And it's amazing. We love you. Thank you.
Yes. And then also YouTube members will get early access to the latest episodes. So yeah, any support that you guys can do for us, we very much appreciate it. Now let me get into my final update. This one is going to be an update actually from our very last episode that was out. And it's an update for telling my husband's affair baby's family to either come get their kid or I'm calling CPS.
I remember this one, yeah.
I am no longer divorcing Roger. There were complications from his heart attack and he has passed away.
What? Oh my God.
I am conflicted. He was the love of my life, but also a cheating piece of trash. To the best of my knowledge, the mother will not return from Europe. The child is currently with her parents. They asked me what I wanted to do. I recommended adoption. Not that I will adopt the child.
Yeah.
That they put the child up for adoption. They didn't like that suggestion. Neither did my children. They said I am being cold and cruel. I suggested that since the child was related to them and not to me, that they should step up. Neither has accepted that suggestion either. I was the sole beneficiary of Roger's estate, so I imagine lawyers will be involved in getting the child some sort of support. I will pay whatever is ordered by the court out of the estate. I will not pay 1 cent out of my money. This is all I have to say on the matter.
Good for her. Stand your ground. Don't let anybody try to guilt trip you into doing that. Your kids are hypocrites.
Yeah.
The hypocrisy is like insane.
It's your half sibling.
Yeah.
You raise it.
Yeah.
Top
Wow,
comment.
Sorry, that was so shocking.
Yeah, right.
I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, Roger's dead.
Damn.
Oh, man. Top comment. Get a paternity test before you allow your husband's estate to be taken.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who knows if it's even Roger's?
Yeah, exactly.
Wild.
Well, that was a good update. Good way to end.
Yeah.
I feel like I have closure now.
That was a little bit of closure. Yeah, that was a good way to end.
Yes.
It's been a solid rockin' episode. I had a lot of fun this one.
Me too, actually. I like the what would you do?
What would you do
thing.
theme? Yeah, that was a good
I feel
theme.
like we should think this way going forward for other episodes.
Maybe we should, yeah.
And yeah, let us know in the comments what you would do for these specific stories. And yeah, we would be interested to hear your guys' opinion.
Yeah, very much so. I've been enjoying my Cottage Springs vodka lemonades here, and I'm ready for dinner. What are we getting?
Pad Thai.
Let's go getting some Thai food.
I love Thai food.
Chicken pad Thai, my favorite.
Yummy.
All right. Well, we will see you guys later, and in about 2 seconds, I'm going to roll Teresa's outro.
Wrong.
You do it then. Goodbye.